Hi there, it's Erin Duffy, your stage presence coach, back again with another tip to help you amplify your stage presence and own your unique voice so that you feel comfortable and confident in every room you walk into. So, I have a question for you. Have you ever had a story pop up in your head and think, oh God, that's a great one. I need to remember that story. It'll be so much fun to share. And then to have it just suddenly a few hours later, you can't quite remember it, or you kind of forgot to write it down and you can never revisit it again. And here's the thing, these are the types of stories that pop in our heads when we're sort of out on a walk with our dog or in the shower or about to fall asleep, or sometimes like just driving back and forth from work. So can you feel that one? You understand that one? So here's the truth. Some of the most powerful stories that we have, the ones that would truly elevate our executive stage presence and make our messages really unforgettable, are slipping away because we're not capturing them. Now, here's the thing. The best speakers out there, the best executives, the best thought leaders, they do not just think of a good story right on the spot. They don't. They actually prepare them. And the secret for that is that they all have what I call a story log. Do you have a story log? Think about it. And let me just remind you, I know we've been talking about this for a while, but again, story is the foundation of your stage presence because it transforms you from being just a speaker into a storyteller. Someone who delivers information, but actually creates an experience that captivates and connects and actually stays with your audience long after you're gone. Great storytelling, again, just doesn't start when you step onto that stage. It really doesn't. It starts long before you actually are up there, and it's because you've collected your stories. The most engaging speakers are the ones who have a personal arsenal of stories, the ones that they have carefully chosen, they've crafted, they've practiced, and they have at a moment's notice. They can pick it and use it whenever because they have a practiced story arsenal. And here's the thing, a story arsenal is really, really easy to keep. It's just a structure that you create for yourself so you don't lose that story that you thought was so important. So today I'm going to tell you how to create your own story log if you haven't. And for everybody listening, you're listening here because speaking is important to you. Whether you're walking into a room with your team, or you are actually presenting to the board, or maybe you are on a big stage in front of 500 people, it's all the same. Stories are really important for your message. So if you haven't started your story log, I'm going to teach you how to do it today. First, I want you to create a dedicated spot for your story log. Now, this can be whatever is right for you. So it could be a notebook or a journal of some sort, a note app on your phone, a spreadsheet, or even like your voice memo. Whatever works for you. Everybody's different. So it has to work for you because you're going to want to practice this, okay? And you're going to want to capture your stories. Second, what you want to do is you want to capture your story and then write out 1 or 2 sentences about that story. So the reason you do that is it's not going to be a fully formed story, right? You want to oh, that amazing thing that happened to me today with my team. That was such a great moment. I got to capture that. So it's what is that story? And write what happened. It's only 2 sentences, but what that's going to do is going to jog your memory when you're ready to tell that story and to write that story out. And again, guys, when I'm talking about stories, we're talking about challenges you faced and how you've handled it, leadership lessons from a recent meeting, a moment of personal, professional growth. It's anything that you think, and we all have the voice inside us that says, God, that's a good story. I need to remember that and tell that. When that moment happens, capture it and write a few sentences about it so you don't forget it. And the beauty also about capturing it, it's out of your head and onto paper or onto a memo, whatever it is, right? You don't have to worry about it anymore because you've captured it. And then the third thing you want to do, and this is going to happen over time as you're creating your stories, you're going to organize your stories under certain themes. So here are a couple of ones that you could use, but you create the themes that work best for you. Vision and leadership, overcoming challenges, that's both personal and professional, customer impact stories, personal growth stories, those moments of self-reflection and transformation. Whatever they are, start to break them out into themes, because what's going to happen is over time, you're going to create a library of your stories, and they're going to be powerful and ready to go so that you can pull them instantly and use them to inspire and to present to your audience and to create impact. Okay. So here's my challenge for you, and it's going to be an easy one this week. Start your story log. If you haven't done it, just start it. And I just want to give you a little secret for me, okay? Because a lot of times my stories will happen when I am on a walk or I am upstairs getting ready in the morning. I actually pull out my voice memo on my phone, and I will say in that voice memo what that story is. And then I come down here and I put it in my log. And just so you know, my log is an Excel spreadsheet. That's where it is. So I want you all to practice that and have your story log ready. And what's so beautiful about having your story log is that you've captured the stories, and then you move into the phase, which I love, is doing the deep dive and creating that story that's going to create that incredible impact. But that's for another discussion. So this week's challenge, go ahead and start your story log. And I want to know more. Like, how did it go for you? Was it fun? Are you doing it? And again, I just want you to dedicate 1 to 2 minutes a day. Pick a story, get it in your story log. Let me know how it goes. And like I said before, if this story thing is really resonating with you and you're like, but Erin, how do I capture my stories? How do I actually flesh these stories out? Again, I want to offer you my secrets to powerful stories. It's my 5 steps on how to craft and tell compelling stories for impact to your audience. So download that if that's something that's really resonating with you. It's a really easy read, and those steps are really, really doable. So have fun with that. Have fun creating your story log, report back to me, and I will see you next week for another tip on your stage presence.